but it's just not the case. It's not my style. I just don't really want to do that, especially as I scale up my account. Am I comfortable showing profits on a 7-8 figure account? Definitely not. I want to keep that private, and you'll notice that the real people making moves within this game are super quiet about what they do. So it's just bearing that in mind and just keeping that in perspective too.
I know it's gonna hurt, but you're worth fighting for.
Here's a very corrective nature here. Here's the interesting point. So I was very keen to see how price developed at this bigger double bottom here within the pattern. So at this stage I had, I believe 2% locked in. So I had 2% locked in here, or just above 2% actually, and I was waiting to see if we got correction to then fall or retrace back into pattern to then manage that more aggressively. Now what we got is we started to push up following this 15-minute descending channel here, and at that point I then locked in 2.8 I believe. So today is Wednesday morning, so hopefully you like the hair, by the way. It's called quarantine. But anyway, I'm just about to jump on a call with a few of the experienced traders from Falcon. It's going to be good to kind of catch up, share goals, and run through some trades that we're looking at, any analysis. It's going to be good, and we're going to check in with you guys straight after that, because there's a trade I really want to break down, which I've just taken, which is Australia 200, which you can probably see on the charts behind me. So we're going to run through that. It hasn't really moved too much at this point, and yeah, do some analysis on that.
But did you want to quickly carry on with the goals, or what kind of time limit we got, Michael, for because you want to analyse as well?
Yeah, I was just waiting for Ibby to jump on the call, so we're all good to go when everyone's ready. But if you want to run through some more goals, that's cool for the next 15-20 minutes, and then we can get into some analysis.
You don't want to do that.
Check out what I've just stumbled upon. So check this. Bluebells literally everywhere. It's pretty crazy. Hopefully I'm allowed in here. Don't really know, but there's a footpath, so I'm guessing I am. But yeah, something that I just wanted to open up here and just share, that something that I'm struggling with right now, especially in this time, is that there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions on the mainstream media, and I'm finding it quite hard to maintain that higher level of thinking throughout the day. So the morning is usually fine. I wake up, I do my routine, get on the charts, do my forecasting, stuff like that. It's quite easy. But then throughout the day you come in contact with certain people, you get exposed to certain information, distractions on the media and things like that. It's so easy to kind of tune out and get that lower version of yourself, lower version of your thinking back. So that's something that I'm really working on, because it does affect your trading. You imagine if you're in a flow state up here coming into the morning, and then that drops throughout the day, it can affect your trading, it can affect your decision making process, which is why I'm such a big believer in doing your forecast in advance, making sure that you take the trades in accordance with your forecasting, which is what I try and do as much as possible. Where does this lead, man? There's even water down here, check this. Really crazy. What a place, man. How have I never come down here before? But yeah, let's see where this takes me. But yeah, that's what that's what I'm finding pretty difficult right now, that I'm currently working on. And currently we're in a time, I'm going to start walking back because this is like a dead end. Currently we're in a time, right, where there's a lot of distractions within the media. It can be so easy to get super caught up into what the mainstream media tells you is true. But without going off on too much of a tangent here, and because this is not the topic of the video, I just want to make sure that everyone's doing their own research and not relying on mainstream media, because I say it around me, once you see this stuff, you can't unsee this stuff. So just research stuff for yourself, become aware of what's actually going on, and then make your own decisions. Right now, you know, a lot of people become dependent on people to do their thinking for them. We're in a time right now, damn, there's a bench. We're in a time right now where independent thinking is a rarity, but a lot of people are waking up to the truth right now, and independent thinking is so key. But yeah, directing this back to trading, it wasn't helping my trading. I was in a higher level of thinking, coming downstairs, seeing breaking news this, breaking news that on TV and stuff like that, in which my family and friends were watching and stuff like that. But then as soon as you get out of that, and as soon as you take a step back, go internal within these times and really just focus on you, use this time wisely to focus on your processes, ignore all these distractions as much as you can, focus on your routines, your processes, your habits, focus on what you can control, which is your health, what you put into your body. I've talked about this before, what you put into your mind, most importantly, because that's what's going to get you through right now. And just honestly use this time wisely, because we don't know when quarantine is going to be over. It could be over in another month, another 3 months, could be another 4, 5, 6. Who really knows, right? Everyone's got different opinions on this stuff, but at the same time, there's going to be so many people, I'm talking 95% of the population, come out of this quarantine in the respect that they're going to have so much wasted time under their belt, but there's going to be a small percentage of the population that are going to be leveled up, because they're going to be tuned into their goals, dialed in, and really focused on where they want to go, use this time wisely, better themselves as a side effect of that, and come out better than what they went into it. So it's just perspective right now. Perspective is key. But without that rant, I just wanted to share what I'm going through right now and where my thinking's at, because it's good to kind of document this. I see YouTube as a journal to look back on, which is so important. So I like this kind of stuff, and yeah, just trying to keep that level of thinking quite high, which is obviously has a positive impact on my trading, and it's going to do the same for you guys too. So stay focused, stay without distractions as much as you can, and yeah, let's get through this together. So it's going to be key. But yeah, I'm going to get back right now. I'm going to try and find my way out of this, and then going to get back, cover that trade on Aussie Kiwi, and see how that's running. So catch you all very, very soon. With a fresh perspective, right?
Unbelievable. Yeah, it's almost like I had television for the last 8-9 years. You know, learning technical analysis and all that, but just, yeah, completely, and I was always aware of pattern, but I never pursued it, and now it's just, yeah, completely opened my eyes up.
So right now is Thursday afternoon. I didn't manage to get a chance to film the trade recap for Aussie 200 yesterday, but I'm going to walk you through it in a minute and show you why I actually got involved in that trade and the result of that too. So it did turn out to be a break even. It is what it is. It is the probability model playing out. It is the reality of trading. Too many people come into the space and think they're going to get win so many times, but it's just not the case with trading. You could get, you know, loss, win, break even, loss, break even, win. Like, you don't know the sequence of wins to losses to break evens. So it's all about having that in your mind. It's almost like when you flip a coin, you don't know what individual flip is going to be heads and which individual flip is going to be tails. However, if you was to weight that coin and put blue tack on one side of that, then you know over the course of 100 flips that the edge of that is going to play out. So if you win 70 times out of the entire 100 flips, and you have an edge for that, then that's going to play out over time. It's the same thing with trading. So whether you have an average risk to reward of 3-1, whether it's 4-1, I think the average is more so 2-1 to 3-1. For me personally, it works out around about 3-1, 4-1. So yeah, that's just the reality of trading. Not every trade is going to be a winner. I think people need to understand that too. Another question that I do get quite often is, do I trade every single day? I don't. I'm at the charts every single day. I do my preparation every single day, and I'm prepared for trades. But at the same time, I do not take trades every single day. If I was to take trades every single day with my personal style, it would mean that there will be a lot of average and subpar trades within there as well, which I don't want to get caught up into that mindset. You know, it's all about sticking, for me personally, to high quality setups that may take a week to play out, may take 2 weeks to develop, but then when they do develop, you could have 4 days of impulsive environments within the market where you then catalyze. But then for the next week and a half, it could be pretty quiet, right now. So for the week right now, I've taken 2 trades, 1 loss on Aussie 200, and then 1 break even on Aussie 200. Now I did miss a trade on wheat, which I need to go over this weekend and really analyze. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I mean, you're going to miss trades. You're not always going to catch every trade. At the end of the day, I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I'm really trying to level up my trading and really develop. But at the same time, you're not going to catch every trade. So that is the key. But the reason I brought that up is because right now I'm not looking at anything. I've not been looking at anything since I got involved in this trade. And there's one setup that's forming, which is US oil for the bigger buy, but it could be a couple of days away, it could be a week away. I don't really know, and it's all about preparing for that in advance. But that's the thing, like, there could be 2 weeks between I take a trade. So I could take a trade on the 1st of the month, and then my next trade could be the 14th, and I could take a trade on the 15th, 16th, 17th, no trade for another 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So it's kind of you can't get into that mindset with trading that, okay, I expect this monthly, there has to be 10 trades a month or 12 trades a month. For some people, that's going to work. For some people with their own styles, that is going to work. For me, with my style, it definitely doesn't. I know that I can't determine how many trades I'm going to take per month. I know that I have a sweet spot of between 8 and 12 trades, and if I go beyond that, then I know that is there a possibility of me overtraining in this environment? Is there a possibility of me undertraining if I go below 8? So it's kind of, that's my sweet spot of between 8 and 12. But yeah, like I said, I don't take trades every single day, and that's something that is important to get across. But enough of my chat, let's get on to the charts and we'll take a look at 200. You've just been on the door, by the way. So DIY behind the scenes of the camera. But yeah, let's take a look at that. So if we just go into the analysis of this, let me just put the camera down and we'll take a look at this right now. So in regards to this, you're probably wondering why I got involved in this trade and what was the analysis behind this. Now I'm going to keep it pretty basic, but let's go into it. So as you can see, this was a break even. So why was this a break even? Well, if we look at the entry itself, and we'll just leave the higher time frames out of this mainly, let's take a look at this. So what do we have? Well, we had this clear reversal structure. I was looking for this to continue to the downside, especially with the higher time frames momentum on the side. So what I was targeting here is I was looking for this correction here to play out to the downside. My first real inflection point would have been this trend line, which is the obvious inflection point, right? So that is just under 2%, so a 2-to-1 risk to reward. But the main real target, especially if this broke, would be, as you can see there, that's 8-to-1. So for that, it means that I'm willing to get involved in that trade, even if that is a loss, a break even. If I was to take that same setup, you know, 7 times out of 10, it's going to play out and bank a decent percentage. So it's all about bearing that in mind and having that edge play out over time, which comes through backtesting, which comes from gaining confidence within the strategy, and really just, to be completely honest, just putting in the work. So yeah, so as we can see, I got involved on this. We actually had this nice head and shoulders too. So I quite like the fact that we moved into an ascending formation. So we moved from this reversal structure here into this ascending formation here, and then to back that up as well with extra confluence, we actually had this left shoulder, head, right shoulder as the impulse, as the correction here to then drop to the downside. So I simply set my entry order there, order there. This was early London, I believe, or mid early London. Yeah, 9 AM there. So set my order there, triggered in shortly afterwards, and I was actually looking to see if I could get involved on the 15-minute here. So we got a double top within pattern. I was looking to see if price pushed up, and this is a good tip actually, because this is how I use a gauge within the markets. So if I just take price back, now at this point I had my entry order set below, right? So I had my entry order set below as a gauge, but at the same time I was willing to get a more precise entry should price push back up. So if price pushes back up here, then I was looking to see if we can get that typical 1, 2, 3 within the pattern. But do I want to take my entry order off here, sacrifice missing out on a position to then price not even develop for that entry? So no, I'd rather set my entry order. If this entry then developed, then I'd simply just adjust it, move my stop up to that area and actually adjust that entry order. But yeah, so I was triggered in shortly afterwards, and then what happened? So if I just play this out, this was yesterday afternoon whilst I was on that walk. Price didn't really move for the first couple of hours, then we got the first impulse, and at this point I was running around about just over 1%. So the rule for myself personally in most environments within the market is that once price gets to 1% profit or just above, I'm a little bit lenient in certain environments. I will then move my stop to break even. So essentially I'm trading in a risk-free environment, which means that I can't lose on that trade anymore, which is what I said before in terms of the probability model playing out, especially with that coin flip. So moved to break even at this point, trickled around a little bit, price pulled back, and then it was here at, this was 3 AM when I was taken out here. So, and then I woke up, and then by the time I woke up I was already taken out, took a screenshot, put that within my journal for ASR reasons on the weekend, and then yeah, and then right now it's just taking its time. So that is a trade in terms of Aussie Kiwi. The one that I did miss on wheat, let's just see if, yeah, there we go. So I missed a trade on wheat, right? And this is where the reality of trading kicks in, because I'm not perfect, I'm still learning. The reality is that, you know, I'm doing well, but I'm still working on things as well. I'm not perfect, I'm not the perfect trader. I still have a lot of things to work on, despite getting some results last year. So that's the main thing I want to mention. You know, I'm still developing, still not perfect, still learning. So with this trade here, it's all about taking the lesson. It's all good, you know, it's all well and good you missing a trade, but it's all about how you bounce back from that and how you learn from that. Same within anything, same within failing in a business or whatever it is. Just learn from the trade and then develop that skill for next time. So here, I was actually looking to set an entry order. The reason I didn't, in all honesty, I was very close to, because I forecasted this trade, is because I couldn't get my stop to break even before this area here. But yeah, just a small tweak that I need to adjust within my trading. First target here was around about 3.8% profit, and then price would have pretty quickly got there. So we got the impulse, the correction, and then price pushed back down, and I would have walked away with 3.5 in this situation. So I would have walked away with 3.5, but once again, you can say that's hindsight, but once again, that's just me analyzing the trade from a perspective of accurately how I would manage that in real life market environment. So it's all about that. It's all well and good you looking at a trade and being like, yeah, I would have squeezed out 14.25% in that situation, but it's just not the case. It's not how things are in the market. So yeah, it would have been in 3.25, and that's just the cost of business sometimes. I'm not going to catch every trade, but at the same time, it's that chase between, okay, I understand that I'm not going to catch every single position, but at the same time, I want to get as perfect as I can with that and trying to capitalize on as much opportunity that is congruent to my plan as possible. So hopefully that helps. Just a quick book recommendation as well, actually. I've been reading this recently, and I've read the audiobook 3 times, but I've never actually read the written copy of this book. So I'm reading Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. He also has a YouTube series. If you type in Mark Douglas on YouTube, really good mindset wise, definitely highly recommended book. And there's so many key lessons within here. I mean, I'm currently just on chapter 2, but what I'm currently doing is going through this book in detail, highlighting different notes. So we just go through a couple of pages so far, you can see like different highlighted notes, going back through it and just learning from that, because that book is key. So definitely a recommendation. I don't back a lot of trading books because they're pretty basic, but this really gets to like the core principles of things psychology wise, and I can always do a video on different mindset books too. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Hopefully you enjoyed the mini breakdown of that trade, and yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video too. So I'm gonna end it out here because there's no real trades that I'm looking at for the rest of the week. Oil could develop. If oil develops, then I'll put that on the next video, but as it stands, it's probably going to take a couple of days to play out, but it may be on the next video, so we will see. But yeah, tune in out. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment section what you honestly want to see going forward. I'm willing to do, you know, a few different things. I'm willing to talk about any topics that you guys want to talk about, because the main goal of this channel is really to just document the journey and showcase that process of going from beginning, starting out, not consistent, to then working my way up to that and then maintaining that. So that's the key. But just to finish off, just one last question that I see crops time and time again on my comment section on YouTube or on IG is that, why don't you show profits on YouTube and stuff like that? The reason being is that I don't really feel the need to, you know, I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone. I know myself, I know the trader I want to be, and I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to like get you guys to buy something off me or like sign up to this course, sign up to a free signals group, whatever it is, right? I'm just within my own lane, focused on my own trading journey and focused on actually documenting my journey so that you guys can learn from that too. And I respect the fact that people come into the space, they see other people showing profits, and then they just have that same connotation towards everyone should do it. But it's just not the case. It's not my style. I just don't really want to do that, especially as I scale up my account. Am I comfortable showing profits on a 7-8 figure account? Definitely not. I want to keep that private, and you'll notice that the real people making moves within this game are super quiet about what they do. So it's just bearing that in mind and just keeping that in perspective too. So, but yeah, something to think about. I do show trades now and again, so I show it on my broker screen. I do show it on IG. There's definitely follow me on IG and you can stay up to date with that. But like I said, if you do want to see anything else, just let me know, and we can happily create that. And I really want to provide as much impact as possible. So yeah, have a good weekend, guys. See you next week for the same upload at 6 PM on Saturday. See you soon.
We'll be right back.